The Microair 50 series comes in three models: the MA50, which is a mattress overlay, and the MA51 and the MA55, which are true mattress replacement units. All three have similar features, except that the MA55 has an optional modified low air loss feature. For this demonstration, we're going to use a 55. The unit will arrive in a single container. The mattress will be rolled up in here with the power unit tucked inside. As you remove the components, observe how everything has been designed for ease of installation. Notice that sewn into the bottom of the mattress are carrying straps. This simplifies setup and teardown. All you have to do is roll it up and carry it with the handles. You don't need a duffel bag or some other means to keep everything together. When you put it on the bed, make sure that you have the red tag on the left side of the bed. That is the left side as you stand at the foot section of the bed. Undo the straps and unroll it. Notice we do have the foot end labeled on the mattress itself, so it's somewhat foolproof as far as how it goes on the bed. Now, hang the power unit on the bed end itself. Simply hang it on the end, and that securely mounts it to the bed. And we have a 14-foot power cord. It's hospital grade. It's grounded. Plug it in here and run it over to the wall receptacle and plug it in. Avoid creating a trip point when you're setting the power cord. Make sure it's routed in a way that's not a hazard to anyone walking through the room. Also make sure that it's not entangled in any of the moving parts of the bed itself. Now attach the hose. It's permanently connected to the mattress. It has a protective cover around it to prevent it from getting kinked or from getting in between the mechanism of the bed itself. It's an extra layer of protection against wear and against any type of damage. Look at the connector. It's a very well thought out and designed piece. You'll notice that it has three hoses. The MA55 has three hoses, two for alternating pressure and one for modified low air loss. The 50 and 51 have only two hoses. We have combined all three hoses into one connector that's easy to attach and remove. Just squeeze these two buttons on the ends and connect it to the power unit. It's simple and it's durable. If we had hoses just running straight in, it would be very susceptible to breaking. Typically, people want to take them and try to pry them off. You're not going to do that with this piece. With this design, the connectors are not going to break even if you drop it. When attaching the hose to the power unit, make sure that you wrap it around and underneath like this. Then plug it in. Now, it's just a matter of inflating the mattress. On the control panel, turn it on and press the max inflate button. You can expect it to take about 30 minutes for a Series 50 mattress to fully inflate. While that's blowing up, make sure the CPR hose plugs are in place so the air doesn't try to escape as you're trying to inflate the mattress. As an extra level of protection, we offer a CPR release. It's here at the head section. We put it here so that if you need to provide CPR resuscitation, you can start more quickly because the air will exit the upper body section faster. Press down on the button lock and pull the plug. The air will start escaping from this immediately. To expedite the process, remove the hose from the power unit. This gives the air another avenue to escape. But that's for quickly evacuating the air from the mattress. For inflating the mattress, make sure the hose plugs are secure. Again, press down on the button lock, insert the plug, and release the button. As the mattress inflates, use these tie-down straps to attach the unit to the bed frame. There are 10 of them, 3 on each side, 2 on the head, and 2 on the foot. Attach them like this. Fasten the strap around the deck section of the bed. Make certain that you go around the deck section of the bed only, not the frame of the bed. If you attach the mattress to the frame, you can tear the mattress or damage the bed, or both, when you try to lift the front or back deck section. So make sure that you attach the straps to the movable deck sections of the bed. Lace the strap through the two loops. Separate the loops. Then bring the strap over the top of the first loop, then lace it underneath the second loop. Pull the strap tight to cinch it down, and the mattress will be secured to the bed frame. The MA50 is a little different. Since it's an overlay, you do not attach it to the bed. Instead, it has elastic hold-downs that fit around the mattress corners. Running through some of the features. The cover is zippered all the way around. It's a 360-degree zipper, so it can be easily removed if it gets soiled. You can take this cover and throw it in a washing machine and launder it as you would any other cover. The only catch is, when you dry it, you want to make sure you use low heat to prevent damaging the cover. It features a dual-layer quilted construction that provides a lot of slip to it for positive shear reduction and friction reduction. You can see the quilting if you flip it over. It also has a slip layer for even more protection. The bottom shell features a 1000 denier canvas cover. It grips the bed deck and is durable, so it won't get easily damaged. The inside has a sewn-in off-white material, which is the mattress's fire sock. We build this feature into all of our TSS mattresses. It's manufactured to comply with Federal Fire Code 16 CFR 1632 and 16 CFR 1633. It provides resistance to open flame. And in the event a mattress should come in contact with a cigarette, it would self-extinguish. Don't smoke while on or around this device. And on the MA51 and 55, we have a 2-inch foam safety pad at the bottom. The MA50, which is an overlay and goes on top of the mattress, does not have this feature. The safety pad is an added level of protection in case of power failure. And it's encased in its own cover as well. So if the top cover gets compromised from body fluids or other fluids, the foam safety pad is protected from contamination. Like the top cover, it's very easily laundered and cleaned. The working part of the mattress consists of these bladders. These provide alternating pressure, so it is an AB-AB type of system. You will notice that some of them are softer and some of them are a little bit harder, and that's how we achieve alternating pressure. To create alternating pressure, a series of solenoids inside the power unit open and close to allow air to go inside the A bladders and then seal them so air doesn't escape. As this is happening, the solenoids for the B bladders close to prevent air from being injected into those bladders, while another set of solenoids opens to allow the existing air in the B bladders to escape. So one set of bladders inflates while another set deflates. Then the process is reversed and so on. That's alternating pressure therapy. And the therapy is the easing of pressure against the patient's wound. By definition, solenoids only work when they're powered. This is a big benefit in case of a power outage. When that happens, all the solenoids close. And as long as the hose stays attached to the power unit itself, the air will not escape from the mattress. That's an added level of protection for the patient. This is the feature I hinted at when we discussed the 2-inch foam safety pad. Extra insurance for safety. A set of sensors in the power unit monitor the bladders to ensure that proper air pressure is maintained for the weight of the patient. It does this by sensing back pressure levels. By commanding the solenoids to open and close, the onboard computer will constantly adjust the pressure inside the mattress to the ideal position for the patient that's on it. It's programmed to maintain mattress surface pressure at below 32 millimeters of mercury. That's the critical point for closing off the capillaries within the body and stopping the blood flow. This is one of the causes of pressure ulcers. So you always want pressure to be maintained below that on the body. One feature that's exclusive to the MA55 is the modified low air loss feature. Low air loss is delivered through the system here. This hose, which runs all the way around the perimeter of the mattress, this hose has holes in it, and that provides the air circulation in between these channels. It's a very effective method of delivering air to cool the surface and assist in moisture management. The hose is laced through fabric loops that are sewn in at about every 4 inches near the top edge of the mattress. So it's not going to fall down. It will stay close to the top surface, which means closest to the patient's body. The controls on the unit are clearly laid out and easy to operate. First, we have the power switch. Simply push it on and off. Whenever you're disconnecting the unit, make sure you turn it off using the on-off button. If you unplug it without turning it off, a number of things will happen. For one thing, the power failure alarm will sound. This LED will come on and you'll hear this sound. That tells you there's a power outage. The other reason you just don't pull the plug out without first shutting the power off is because the unit will switch over to battery power. This is because it's sensed that there's a power outage. The battery will continue to maintain the memory inside the unit until power is restored, but it will not last indefinitely. So turn the power off when disconnecting the unit. Above the power button is the alternating pressure and static mode button. When the unit is not in static mode, it's in alternating pressure mode. By pressing this button, you can initiate the static mode or any one of the 4 cycle times: 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or 20-minute cycles. You cycle through them by pressing the button until you get to the feature you want. The green LEDs here will light, telling you what you've selected. There will be times when you'll want to stop the alternating pressure. The static mode will give you a nice flat surface for the patient to rest on. One of the superior features that we have on all Microair mattresses is how we set the mattress for the weight of the patient. A lot of the other units that are on the market today make you guess the proper setup for the patient. You have to put the patient on the mattress. The unit usually has a dial. You set the dial in the middle and then you wait. And as you're waiting, it's going to inflate. After that initial setup, the caregiver has to figure out what the right weight is for that patient through a trial and error. You move the dial, you see what happens. You move the dial some more and on until the patient is dialed in, so to speak. We give you a head start. We give you a scale that translates the patient's weight to an operating number. We call it the comfort control feature. For example, you have a patient that weighs about 185 pounds. Using the chart printed on the power unit, we see that corresponds to about number 4, which is the corresponding setting for a person that weighs 175 pounds. It's always a good idea to start at a lower setting. Press the up or down arrow to move the LED to the number 4. The mattress inflates to that setting, and we will get the patient on the bed. Check the patient using the standard hand under the mattress method to be sure the patient isn't bottoming out. If you need to make an adjustment, just press the up or down arrow. One adjustment. So it puts you very quickly in the right range for where you need to be. Next to the comfort control settings is the Fowler button. Fowler is the term used for the position when sitting up in bed. It's called the Fowler position. When you sit up in bed, your weight shifts to your trunk area. If you have the mattress set up properly for when the patient is lying in bed, the setting will be too soft for sitting up. When they're sitting up in bed and the mattress is too soft, the patient can then bottom out. Obviously, you don't want that. You want to make sure there's enough support underneath them. We can do this through the Fowler button. The patient wants to sit up. Press the Fowler button. The compressor will turn on and put 25% more air into the mattress. Most of the air increase is focused on the center of the mattress to make sure that the patient doesn't bottom out. After the patient lowers back down, press the Fowler button again to turn the feature off. This means that the caregiver has to be present to activate the feature. As you move up in the Microair series, you'll see that we have an automatic Fowler system that senses when the patient is sitting upright and makes these pressure adjustments automatically, eliminating the need for the caregiver to be present every time the patient wants to sit up. Moving to the right side is the mode button. If you have an MA50 or 51, the button will only activate the max inflate feature. The max inflate setting is very important at the initial setup of the bed, or for tending to patients, changing their clothes or changing dressings. The max inflate overrides all of the other controls on the power unit. It turns on the power unit and fills up the mattress to its maximum capacity and firms up the entire surface. Because it's very firm, the patient will be raised up and not submersed into the mattress, so they can be tended to, and they will not bottom out if they're sitting at the corner. When you're done, turn off max inflate and the unit will go back to your original settings. If you don't turn it off, the mattress will return to the original settings to protect the patient from resting on a surface that's too firm. Another example of the intelligence built into the Microair line. This model, the MA55, has modified low air loss. Finally, on the right side of the unit, some features that you typically don't find on these units. The power failure alarm, we talked about that earlier, and the low pressure alarm. This unit is set for a certain amount of pressure. The low pressure alarm will sound if it doesn't sense that back pressure. When that happens, it's going to try to put more air into it to correct the situation. And as it does that, it will sound the alarm. It will continue signaling until the problem has been corrected. After the unit is set up for the patient, you can press and hold this button to lock it from accidental changes. When you hear the signal and the LED goes on, the unit is locked out and can't be tampered with. Now you can no longer adjust these controls. It's set to the recommended therapy, and should family members come in and start pressing buttons, nothing will change. To turn off the lock feature, you just press and hold it until it sounds again, and the light goes off. As with all of our Microair models, each of these is fully tested before they leave the factory. After being tested to assure that the unit is fully operational, a seal is placed over the seam on the control unit. You want to be careful that you don't open the back, because breaking the seal will void the warranty. All Microair mattresses must be installed on medical bed frames with side rails. The side rails must be in the raised position whenever a patient is on the bed. Controls on the footboard may be obstructed by the power unit on a few bed frames. It may be necessary to relocate the power unit. Refer to the owner's operator and maintenance manual. Operate all bed frame motorized functions through their full range of motion to be certain that there is no pulling, interference, or pinching. Check that air hoses and power cord are clear of moving bed components before placing a patient on the bed. The mattress must fit the bed frame and side rails snugly to prevent patient entrapment. Patient entrapment with bed side rails may cause injury or death. Variations in bed rail dimensions and mattress thickness, size, or density could increase the risk of entrapment. After any adjustments, repair, or service, and before use, make sure all attaching hardware is tightened securely. Assist rails with dimensions different from the original equipment supplied or specified by the bed manufacturer may not be interchangeable and may result in entrapment or other injury. Monitor the patient frequently. Proper patient assessment and monitoring and proper maintenance and use of equipment is required to reduce the risk of entrapment. Visit the FDA website at www.fda.gov to learn more about the risks of entrapment and review a guide to bed safety published by the Hospital Bed Safety Workgroup and located on Invicare's website at www.invicare.com. Refer to the owner's operator and maintenance manual for additional product and safety information. The Microair 50 series of mattresses are good entry-level products that require about 30 minutes for setup inflation. They offer basic alternating pressure therapy, manual Fowler, protection from shearing and friction, and with the MA55, moisture control. and the Fowler feature must be manually activated and deactivated by the caregiver. The total mattress height is 8 inches, which, along with its 10 LPM compressor, differentiates it from the MA60 series. All Microair products are made in the USA and contain the features, the quality, and the durability that make them standouts in the field of therapeutic support services. Invacare. Impossible stops here.